So, for this video on my Phase 2 of the DCEU, I'm not going to do any clips because YouTube decided to copyright my video. So, without further ado, let's get started with the first product of Phase 2 of the DCEU. Or sorry, DCCU. The first product in Phase 2 is called the Flashpoint Paradox. The movie could adapt the 2013 movie called Justice League The Flashpoint Paradox. Barry Allen feels sad that he lost his mom after she was murdered and his father was blamed for the murder. So he goes back in time to make sure that doesn't happen. And that causes a paradox. Superman doesn't exist. Bruce Wayne is not Batman because he's dead, and Thomas Wayne is Batman. And Wonder Woman and Aquaman are going to go to war on each other. The main villain in this movie is yet again Reverse Flash. And while Aquaman and Wonder Woman are going to warn each other, Thomas Wayne gives Barry Allen a note to his son. So Barry Allen runs very fast to make sure the paradox doesn't happen, and he gives Bruce Wayne a note, and Barry Allen thinks that Reverse Flash is dead, but he doesn't worry about it, and the movie ends with Barry Allen going to get some KFC. And now it's time for the post-credit scene. In the post-credit scene, a white portal comes out of nowhere while someone walks out of the portal. And it was Godspeed that walks out of the portal, and he knows about the whole paradox thing. And now let's move on to the next movie. The second movie in Phase 2 is called Batman Under the Red Hood. The movie could adapt the animated movie called Batman Under the Red Hood. And the movie will follow Batman realizing that Jason Todd is not dead, but he's around here somewhere, and he is going to go find him. The main villain in this movie is the Joker. And Batman fights the Red Hood, and he realizes the Red Hood is none other than Jason Todd this whole time. And Jason Todd gives Batman two choices. Either he lets the Joker live, and the Red Hood kills Batman, or he kills the Joker and lets Batman go. While Batman walks away, Red Hood shoots Batman, and he dodges the bullet, and Batman throws the batarang and explodes the building, and he realizes that Red Hood is gone, and the Joker is in a coma. And the movie ends with Batman talking to the Red Hood, telling him he's sorry for letting him die. And now it's time for the post-credit scene. In the post-credit scene, a female named Harley Quinn walks up to the Joker in the hospital while he's in a coma. "Don't worry, Mr. J, I'll find the person that put you in a coma," says Harley Quinn. And now it's time for the next movie. The third movie in Phase 2 is called Man of Tomorrow. The movie will follow Clark Kent as he has a crush on Lois Lane, and he wants Lois Lane to like him back. The main villain in this movie is General Zod. And Superman and General Zod both fought, and Superman has no choice but to use the kryptonite staff and stab General Zod with it, causing him to lose his powers. And he sends him to jail where he can't get out. And the movie ends with Clark Kent and Lois Lane going on a date. And now it's time for the post-credit scenes. In the post-credit scene, General Zod is talking to a hologram while he's in his prison. "Master, I failed you. I lost my powers and I don't know what to do. I need to get out of this jail." "You fool! Why did you let him take your powers?" asks the alien. General Zod was talking to Brainiac. "I tried to beat him, but he was too strong," says General Zod. "I guess I'll let it slide for now, but we are going to have a big team to kill Superman's team," says Brainiac. Second post-credit scene. In this post-credit scene, a wizard named Wizard Shazam is discovering who should be the next Shazam because he's too old. And now it's time for the next movie. The fourth product in Phase 2 is called Shazam. And everything, like the 2019 movie, but everything will be a little bit different. I'll save that for later. The main villain in this movie is Dr. Thavis Zazada. And Billy makes all of his family become the Shazam family, and they both defeat the main villain, and the movie ends with the principal saying that there's going to be a guest speaker, and the guest speaker is none other than Superman, and there's no post-credit scene. The fifth product in Phase 2 is called Wonder Woman 2. The movie will follow Wonder Woman as there's going to be new gods going to invade her home. The main villains in this movie is going to be these three women from Shazam! Fury of the Gods. I don't remember their names, so I'm just going to have to translate that. The daughter of the gods betrayed the gods. Then they summon the dragon. Then the Amazons go to war on the gods, then Wonder Woman fights the dragon, and two of the gods die, and then they keep just one alive because they knew that they betrayed them. And the movie ends with Wonder Woman becoming new queen of the Amazons. And now it's time for the post-credit scene. In the post-credit scene, a doctor is trying to revive a woman that died in an explosion. Then she busts out of the tubes, kills the doctors, teasing a third Wonder Woman movie. And speaking of movies, time for the next movie. The sixth product in Phase 2 is called Cyborg. The movie will follow Cyborg getting his revenge after who put him in the cyborg body. The main villain in this movie is Deadshot. Then he meets Beast Boy, making them best friends. Then Cyborg and Beast Boy both beat up Deadshot, but instead of Cyborg killing Deadshot, he just sends him to jail. And the movie ends with Cyborg and Beast Boy going to go to get some pizza. And there's no post-credit scene. The seventh product in Phase 2 is called Teen Titans. The movie will follow Teen Titans gonna go fight some villains because someone broke out of jail. The main villain in this movie is Lex Luthor, while the side villain in this movie is Deathstroke. Cyborg makes a cameo. Then the Teen Titans fight Deathstroke, and they realize that while Lex Luthor was fighting Raven accidentally kills Lex Luthor. Then Deathstroke is sent to jail while Raven goes back to her place while she's going to get rid of her traumatizing after what she did. Then the movie ends with Nightwing, Beast Boy, and Starfire assembling more teams, and there's no post-credit scene. The eighth product in Phase 2 is called Green Lantern Red Rage. Hal Jordan will be sidelined in the sequel while there will be a new main character, which it will be Jon Stewart. The main villain in this movie will be yet again Zox. Superman makes a cameo. Then Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan both fought Zox, and then Zox dies, and the movie ends with the Lanterns throwing their fists in the air saying, "Green Lanterns forever." And now it's time for the post-credit scene. In the post-credit scene, Hal Jordan looks at the stars, and then he sees a portal coming out. And out of that portal was Brainiac's ship. And now it's time for the next movie. The ninth product in Phase 2 is called Justice League Panic at the Sky. And the main focus in this movie will be Supergirl. Aquaman will dye his hair blonde and shave his beard just to be more comic accurate. And not to make fun of Jason Momoa, by the way. The main villain in this movie will be Brainiac, while the side villain in this movie will be General Zod. And yeah, General Zod gets his powers back. And sadly, Hal Jordan's Green Lantern dies in the movie. Then Brainiac kills General Zod, and then he gets General Zod's powers. Then Superman flies up to Brainiac and beats up Brainiac, but Brainiac was too strong, and he almost kills Superman. Then Brainiac dies by Supergirl when she uses her laser eyes to kill Brainiac. And the movie ends with the Justice League forming Supergirl as the new member of the Justice League. And then they go have some coffee in a cafe. And now it's time for the post-credit scene. In the post-credit scene, Clark Kent and Lois Lane are about to get married. They both say "I do," they both kissed, and the Justice League and everyone else claps for joy. Second post-credit scene. In this post-credit scene, everyone bows down to Darkseid while he sits on his throne. And then he says, "Fine, I'll do it myself." And now it's time for the next movie after Justice League Panic of the Sky. The 10th product in Phase 2 is called Robin. Damian Wayne is all grown up and now he's the new Robin. And Batman trains him to become the new Robin. The main villain in this movie is Ra's al Ghul. Then the Bat family, including Red Hood, both beat up Ra's al Ghul, and Damian Wayne beats him up brutally, and Batman tells him to stop, and he does. And Ra's al Ghul gets sent to jail, and Dick Grayson asks if Damian Wayne can join the Teen Titans, and he says yes. But he walks away, and the movie ends with the Bat family going their separate ways for a while. And now it's time for the post-credit scene. In the post-credit scene, Damian Wayne is outside in the park sitting on a bench. Then we meet Raven yet again, and then she meets Damian Wayne. "Oh, hey, I'm Raven. What's your name?" she asks. Damian Wayne looks at Raven and says, "My name's Damian Wayne." And now it's time for the final product for the DCCU. The final product in Phase 2 is a Nightwing TV show, which is Nightwing Season 2. And it will be a prequel about how Dick Grayson became Robin and Nightwing. In the first episode, Dick Grayson's parents die from a circus accident. The main villain in this show is the Riddler. Dick Grayson breaks the rules of Batman, so he goes in to save Batman and beats up the Riddler, and the Riddler gets sent to jail. Then, Dick Grayson leaves Batman, and he becomes Nightwing. And that was Phase 2 of the DCCU. So yeah, that was my version of the DCEU Phase 2. If we get some views, which I don't care how many views I get, or a couple likes, which I don't care how many likes I get, we might do DCEU Phase 3. Oops, sorry, DCCU Phase 3. That's it for this video. Peace.